Okay, so it's a bit not that well organized this time. Hello everyone. So it's the creator interview for the traditional game development. And so we have today one project down duty because another team haven't been able to finish their game. But this one is really promising, really good game. I tried it actually. So we'll ask a few questions, and first I will ask you to tell me a few words about your game.
Yeah, so Dorm Duty is a first person low poly aesthetic horror game. We created it in Unity. It takes place in a fictional American university called Marrowgate University, and the game centers around the mystery around the dorm.
The first question that comes to my mind when I see your game, and even during your first presentation, was okay, like horror game, isn't it like too overdone, like kind of game?
Yeah, so the current trend right now are these low poly aesthetic horror games. It's very inspired by the early 2000s. A lot of series like Fears to Fathom and Chilla's Art and the other game developer Puppet Combo, they make a lot of these kinds of like short low poly aesthetic games. It seems to be very popular, but our team wanted to take a spin on the genre and also reflecting our belief on what horror is.
Which is
So,
kind of spin?
we believe that horror is not just about jump scares or monsters or violence, but also horror in the ordinary, the human condition, and the horror in like people, the real things that affect real people.
And so how you do that? How you handle that in game mechanics?
So, because our game is supposed to reflect something ordinary, our main character is a resident advisor at a university. Uh, we reflected that in like really simple mechanics. Like they want to do tasks in this game, so we did things such as like a skill check and a flashlight. We implemented those two really simple mechanics in our game.
In terms of difficulty, like it's what you how you handle that, like the skill check.
Yeah. So how our skill check is that we have a skill check bar, and it's kind of like a timing game. There's a timing bar, and you try to match it in the middle. There's like a progress bar as well.
And why did you focus mostly on the flashlight and the skill check for, for, for the game? What was the most?
So for the most horror games, survival horror games, the players are given with a gun or like a weapon that they can use to protect themselves. But in our game, we wanted to use the flashlight to give a less sense of protection and safety, and I think it's more suitable for our main character, resident advisor, to use it as a in the under a stressful situation while doing the skill check.
Okay, thank you. So if we go back a bit uh, before, you said inspired by the PlayStation era kind. So can you tell us more about that?
So um, the other two games that we were heavily inspired, except for the PlayStation era, we were inspired by the game called Mouthwashing and basically those games in Chill's art game. For Mouthwashing, we were inspired by their low poly stylized art graphics and their twisted narrative um, mixed with the horror encounters. And for Chill's art game, we loved how they melt the horror element within the ordinary setting, like getting stalked while streaming and getting creeped out by a dude working as a barista. So I think in our original setting, those two games uh, mix perfectly with our original game plot. So.
And the dorm experience is that like personal experience, or it's like what is it inspired?
So it is based on my personal experience working as a resident advisor. I had a lot of uh, encounters with students and while doing the room inspection. So it is based on my own experience. Yeah, so yeah, walking down the dark hallway and all of that. So it's all reflected into the game.
I just realized that I haven't asked the question. How long it take to finish the game?
So it takes about 15 to 25 minutes for the new player to play the whole game, depending on their gameplay level. And I think it would get shorter as they repeatedly play the game.
So you gain more and more like by doing skill checks.
Yeah.
That to be easier
Mhm.
while you do it. Yeah, so your inspiration, the PlayStation overall, but like outside of the visual, how you address that? That, like how we can feel your inspiration in the game.
So I think one of the big parts of our intended experience for our target experience is, or target audience, is our sound design. So things like ambiance or the music or even like the sound effects play a big role to deliver the feeling of our game. I think one of our biggest inspirations comes from a musician called Akira Yamaoka, who's known for making a lot of music that sounds a bit dark, gloomy, but also euphoric at the same time.
Composer of?
He's the composer of. He's well known for making the Silent Hill series, composing most of their music. And I think the reason why he gets so much love and appreciation for his music is because he does a really good job of mixing trip hop and also ambient music at the same time. And that's what kind of drew me to make the first soundtrack. I found myself using a lot of sampling from industrial drums, uh, machine sounds, and just atmospheric sounds to make the music feel a little bit dreamy, but also eerie at the same time. And you'll be able to hear this sound when you first launch the game.
Okay, thank you. And so like for the visual aspect, so for the building itself, like what came from your inspiration?
So for the dorm building design, to make a more immersive experience, I wanted to make dorm environment as realistic as possible, so the player can engage themselves in the role of resident advisor. So I studied real American dormitory layouts and kept the overall look simple and realistic. And to avoid every dorm room look feeling the same, we added some details that reflect the student living there. So the most of the frozen texture come from the real dormitory references. And for the horror mode, I looked at games like Silent Hill for inspiration in environment details and texture atmosphere.
Thank you. So I'm a bit messed up in my notes, so I will ask directly like two of my questions that I was planning. So how you set up the tone, and also like I want to know a bit more about the narrative. Like what is the story about? So we can start with the one we prefer.
So our game covers some maybe like dark or serious topic, such as bullying, substance abuse, or maybe even suicide. But we wanted to make our own version of horror by mixing a sorry by delivering the themes and messages that we wanted to convey in our own version, but with a mix of our own personality and expression.
And as for the narrative, just a basic overview. Um, our main character is the resident advisor of the dormitory that we're talking about. We gave her the name Mila. She is basically just an ordinary student who's attending her school and also just working an ordinary job. But as she does her job, she finds out that there used to be another student. Her name was Poppy, and she did kill herself because of the things that happened during her time at the university. this is where the topics go into like bullying and like hazing. And then Poppy's mother did pass away during this time, and it was one of the main motivations for her to kill herself. So she has this like uh, guilt and regret, um, because she feels like she wasn't able to uh, be the person that like her mother expected her to be, and because of these feelings of like guilt, it her soul inhabited in the dorm and terrorized the students that were affecting her when she was still alive.
Before going too far on that, like, I go back to my own phone, how you set up the tone in that game, how you, like, you try to not be too heavy on that topic, but still it's a serious topic, so how you handle that?
Um, I think we just do implicit like storytelling. I think the player is able to find clues and kind of just connect what's going on. I think through the dialogue and just the things that you see, as you know, as the game becomes more and more darker, you kind of like find out that like, oh, like something bad really happened at this doorman with the people. It's affecting the people. It's affecting everyone. Um, just kind of like how bullying and like hazing and just like these bad things affect everyone who's involved.
Okay, thank you. Just about the visual, we talked about the building a bit, but like the monster, what is your inspiration on that? And maybe if you can make some connection with also the topic and the narrative we talked about.
So in Dorm Duty, player can encounter three monsters in total, which is the staring larva, the parasite pool, and poppy. For the staring larva and parasite pool, we were heavily inspired by this one creature called SCP-173, which is from SCP Foundation, a well-known internet creepypasta that deals about like organizations of dealing with prohibited like creatures or like basically like managing them. SCP-173 is a creature known for a person should be looking at it, or else they'll just run up to like the person and then kill them. So I wanted to differentiate this idea in two ways. So it's theirs and kills. This sentence or this phrase was assigned to the staring larva, and it doesn't move as long as it's being watched. This phrase was given to the parasite pool. Mm, for like the character design wise, I wanted to give staring larva have some kind of big eyes and emotionless face to like convey that, oh, you're being watched. I wanted the players to have a feeling that, oh, it's looking at me. It's kind
It
of
works.
weird.
It works.
And for the parasite pool, you have to keep looking at it. The player has to keep looking at it so that it doesn't come to themselves and then kill them, which is kind of ironic because I made them like look kind of gross, but I think the ironic is coming from the fact that you have to keep looking at it. And
And so, like, I want to know, like, the for the butterfly, how you choose the butterfly and why it's used for copying in the game. Like, what was your, what is the logic behind that?
So for Poppy, she is basically a mixture of butterfly and humanities that when designing Poppy, the really important thing that I want to emphasize was reflecting Poppy's background story as a former singer. So I really wanted her to have a body structure that can actually generate a sound from her inside. So my biggest inspiration comes from a moth that's in the movie called The Silence of the Lambs. It is a moth that uses sound to threaten people. So I really wanted to copy and people understand that she actually looked like she has a body structure that make a sound from her inside. And to show her human side, I focus on her nerves and veins when but she has to make a noise from her inside. I had to make her body bigger and bigger so she could contain a sound box in her body. For the animation, I was inspired by any other insects like spiders and ants. So I actually looked at how they actually walk. And um, but my first impression for Poppy was that she wouldn't emerge perfectly with her human body and a butterfly part. So I thought she would have a broken like movements, so she would like look awkward or disjointed when she is moving. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Uh, I wanted to just have like few more words about the narrative, if like you can complete what has been said, particularly about the how you already covered that a bit, Jeff, but maybe we can go more in detail, like how we tell the story in the game, because it's like it's not like there are not tons of text either in your game, so how you try to do that? Either Jed or Tian or
Other than the dialogue, there is some storytelling, implicit storytelling object that a player can find. It's the object is like a clues, notes, and objects that player can interact. And there is one NPC. It's he is an art student, and in when the player goes in his room, the player can find some butterfly pictures and the burnt picture of sorority sisters.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say those assets are also like storytelling, like inside our game. Yeah.
thank you. And so yeah, the two last questions. So like the first is if I forget to ask you something and there's something you want to cover to add more for this interview. And then the last part where can we found your game when everything will be ready.
I think you had a previous question about like why we chose to have like butterfly as like our concept. Yeah, yeah. Do you want to explain?
Yeah, the insect and the butterfly theme was mainly inspired from the narrative standpoint, and it was the first time for Poppy going to the university and away from her mother. So the puppy changed a lot during this time, but in a way that was for the worst. So the changing and evolving theme was was the best represented by the butterfly, and on another note is the main common fear that people have are insects. So that's why the pick the butterfly.
Okay, thank you. And so like the last question.
Oh yeah.
Well, we first want to say thank you to everyone who is watching this video or this live stream. You can please follow our Instagram duty.freeofficial if you want to see pictures of our posters or just like overall like our progress through our journey. And also please subscribe to our YouTube channel duty_free_official. We uploaded all of our trailers there. Um, and we're planning on uploading more content if we have more time. And if you're interested in playing our game Dorm Duty, you can find it on itch.io with our handle. Yes, itch.io on our handle Duty Free.
Okay, thank you. And so all of this will be on the description of the video. But yeah, thank you for this presentation. I see that the camera, I'm not even sure that we are still
In the
front.
frame.
So we just replace that a bit. Thank you for everyone that was on the stream. I see that there are some of you on the comment. I cannot take the question, but I will transmit to the